This video is sponsored by Alcid eHomes, whose mission it is to accelerate the advent of sustainable, healthy living systems around the world. Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla. Volkswagen held a crisis meeting. Not about how they will beat Ford, GM or Toyota. Didn't even talk about semiconductor shortage in this crisis meeting. I guess I was right about semiconductors just being an excuse, because the only thing this crisis meeting was about was how do Volkswagen get back in the race against Tesla. They didn't talk about any other company but Tesla. Volkswagen is getting it. Tesla is steering toward becoming the biggest automaker the world has ever seen. But the problem is, even with all the talk Volkswagen has done about them being the leader in the EV race, they have just realized what we have been talking about before. They are in big trouble and will not be able to compete if something doesn't change. What they are already doing is not good enough. Even Volkswagen is acknowledging that now. It doesn't come much clearer than that. Tesla is leading and is so far ahead and running so fast that one of the biggest automakers in the world doesn't even know what to do about it. Volkswagen has officially just given Tesla the crown as the best car manufacturer in the world. Wow, let's check this out and let's dive right in. So, Herbert D just gave the example of the Tesla Model 3 only taking about 10 hours to build. That is 3 times faster than the ID.3 in Swiss Cow. This put Tesla in another dimension in terms of productivity and profitability. Whoa, what? Tesla, which both Mark Spiegel and Jim Chanos said was structurally unprofitable, is the one company that Volkswagen is looking to as the one they can't keep up with when it comes to profits. Wow. And both Mark and Jim also talked a lot about how the big boys would just come in and scale up production like it was nothing. But the numbers show us that is not what happened. And now even Volkswagen is looking at what Tesla is able to produce. And they don't know how Tesla is doing it. Volkswagen can't keep up with Tesla's production numbers. We have been saying this for a long time, that Tesla is innovating in the way they are making cars. But for Volkswagen to go out and say it is quite a big deal. And they're talking about how to keep up with the Model 3 production rate. But remember, Tesla China Model Y production is about twice as fast as their Model 3 production. So the Model Y production is probably about 6 times faster than the ID.3 and the ID.4 production. So even though Volkswagen is kind of getting it, they still don't get just how fast Tesla's production already is or will be in the future. As Elon talked about a battery day, they will be head and shoulders above everyone else in manufacturing. That is their goal. And Volkswagen has just realized this.
If you break the factory down into cubic meter sections, and say, or smaller, it could be like 1 liter sections, and say, is a majority of this volume doing useful work? You would be astounded at how bad most factories are. They're like maybe 2 or 3%, including our factory in Fremont. And the company that will be successful is the company that with one factory can accomplish what other companies take 2 or 3 or 4 factories to do. This is what we're trying to do here is say, okay, how do we, with one factory, achieve what maybe 5 or even 10 factories would normally be required to achieve? Basically, Tesla is aiming to be the best at manufacturing of any company on Earth. This is the thing that's actually most important in the long run. Eventually, every car company will have long-range electric cars. Eventually, every company will have autonomy. I think, but not every company will be great at manufacturing. Tesla will be absolutely head and shoulders above anyone else in manufacturing. That is our goal.
The same thing goes for their battery factory. Volkswagen has a plan for 6 battery factories that will produce 40 gigawatt hours of batteries each. So that is 240 gigawatt hours of batteries against Tesla's production rate. Again, Tesla's production rate here is the truly crazy number, because the Tesla Berlin battery factory will produce something like 250 gigawatt hours. So Tesla is able to do with 1 factory what Volkswagen need 6 factories to do. Just like the car production, Model Y is about 6 times faster to produce than the ID.4, but Tesla is not done. That is the Chinese Model Y with only 1 single giga casting, but the Berlin factory will have 2 casting. So that car will be even faster to produce, maybe 8 or 10 times faster than Volkswagen's IDs. And Volkswagen is trying to find out how to just do it 3 times faster. They don't stand a chance. I do understand why Volkswagen see the Grünheide factory being a big threat for them in Germany and Europe in general, and why they held a crisis meeting to find out a way to fight Tesla in Europe, because Volkswagen kind of already lost the battle for China. Volkswagen's biggest market, but they are seeing some big headwinds in China with their IDs. They have only sold just over 10,000 in September, their best months so far, with all of their 4 different models they have in the country. That is less than Tesla Shanghai factory produced in 4 days. Volkswagen is too late to the party in China. They came with a boring and not very smart car to a market that wants smart tech. They have lost China, and the US doesn't look much better. In all of Q2 in 2021 in the US, the ID.4 sold just over 5,700 units, while the Model Y sold almost 80,000 units and the Model 3 120,000 units. They have lost the US market as well to Tesla. So now Volkswagen is holding a crisis meeting, because Volkswagen is still doing pretty well in Europe, but they start to understand what a big threat the Tesla Berlin factory will be. And Tesla is about to turn on their light in the Berlin factory, which will have twice the production capacity than the factory in Shanghai. And Tesla is already the second best selling EV brand in Europe, even before the Berlin factory goes online. And Volkswagen is talking about the Model 3 being 3 times faster to produce than the ID.3. But if that is the production rate they are thinking that Tesla factory will be spitting out Model Ys in Berlin, they will be very surprised. So Volkswagen is trying to figure out how they can get a production rate that is 3 times faster than what they do today, not understanding that what will happen in the Berlin factory is probably 3 times faster than that again. Tesla is even further ahead than Volkswagen probably thinks, and is only speeding up. They just don't stand a chance to catch up to Tesla. I do believe they will also lose Europe to Tesla. I believe Tesla will be the best-selling brand this year in Europe, but next year they will even beat the entire Volkswagen group in Europe. And Volkswagen will have lost the battle against Tesla in China, US, and Europe. I don't think they will be able to survive this. But just to give a few examples of just how fast Tesla is growing compared to the other guys that are talking like they are the leaders in the EV race already, like Ford and GM. So 150,000 F-150 Lightning is Ford's goal for the end of 2024. And that is not produced in 2024. That is accumulated production from 2022 all the way through 2024. And the Cadillac will transition to 100% EVs by 2030. But just remember, Cadillac is only making about 130 to 150,000 cars per year. So GM doesn't expect Cadillac to be able to produce more than 150,000 EVs before in 10 years' time. So to give a little context to how slow all of this is compared to Tesla, that will grow in production something like 250 to 300,000 cars this year alone. Not their total production numbers, no, this is their growth this year. So pretty much what Cadillac will get to in 10 years' time, combined with Ford's F-150's cumulated sales until the end of 2024, is what Tesla will grow with this year alone. And Tesla will probably grow more than double that next year, because that is when we get Tesla's 2 new factories up and running. That is better in every single way compared to the Tesla China factory that is already 3 to 6 times faster at producing electric cars than even Volkswagen. And Volkswagen is the one that is trying to move the fastest to EVs. And Tesla is not done yet. They have only just started. As I made a whole video about Tesla's next-gen factory that will be even better than what Berlin and Texas are. As Elon said, there are maybe 100 times more innovations to be done in the manufacturing than in the car itself. So we know that the Berlin factory will be able to produce about 2 million cars when fully ramped. That in itself is kind of crazy. That is almost 3 times more than Volkswagen's biggest factory is able to do. But Texas is an even bigger factory with more floors. It will probably be able to produce something like 3 million cars, if not more. So it is not so hard to imagine, with all that Tesla has learned from building the Shanghai factory, the Berlin factory, the Texas factory from the ground up, and all the new ways of producing a car, that the next-gen factory will be able to produce about 4 million vehicles of Tesla's $25,000 car. And I don't believe Tesla will only build one factory. Tesla has just built 2 factories at the same time, actually 2.5, with the Model Y production line in Shanghai as well. And Tesla has more money than ever before, earns more money than ever before. So why, oh why should Tesla not build 2, if not 3 more factories again at the same time? But these factories will be more productive than what Tesla has already built to date. So Volkswagen get this, even though they are looking at the Tesla Model 3 production speed that is not the top speed of Tesla's production, but they do get it. They don't look at Ford or GM or even Toyota when it comes to production, because Tesla has come in and changed the game completely. While the other guys were focusing on making just an electric car, Tesla was innovating on how to make a car. We don't get it much clearer than this. The announcement from Volkswagen that they don't know how to keep up with Tesla's production rate. Wow. Mark Spiegel and Jim Chanos could not have been more wrong. The big boys did not come in and show Tesla how to produce cars. Tesla has shown the whole industry how to really mass produce cars at a much higher production rate than anyone has ever done before. And someone like Volkswagen, one of the world's biggest automakers, don't even know what to do about it. First they laugh at you, then they ignore you, then they fight you, and then you win. No one can stop Tesla now, and no one can catch up with Tesla now. Now we only have to watch this play out. See the old guys stumbling around in the dark, trying to stay relevant, trying to stay alive. Volkswagen has just realized this. Let's see what their next move will be. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.